Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
October 21, 2020, the Extortion edition. And we begin with that story from the New York Times. President Trump yesterday said at a campaign rally that he either may have or he could call up Exxon Mobil and extort money out of them in the form of a campaign contribution. Imagine that. If they wanted a permit, if they wanted something done, he'd just say, give me $25 million. Well, today, in a very forceful denial, Exxon said that never happened. And the New York Times reported that we are aware of the president's statement regarding a hypothetical call, and just so we're all clear, it never happened. So, when you have the president of the United States saying that he can extort money from any corporation anytime he wants, that's obviously a pretty big issue. And for him to target Exxon certainly does not help Exxon. Next up, in one of the biggest stories we've had recently from the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. Department of Justice Antitrust Division, or as Mike Volkov would call it, the Division, has filed a lawsuit against Google's parent Alphabet, claiming that Google misused its power in an anti-competitive manner, potentially threatening a market revenue stream for the tech company. This, of course, revolves around the Google search, which apparently has some 89 to 90+% of the market. That's clearly above the threshold for anti-competitiveness. And what the Justice Department claims is, although for people like you and me, Google search is free, that they are so ubiquitous that they keep any other company from going into the search business. I know that I certainly rely on Google and would continue to do so. It really doesn't matter to me what someone else's search engine might do. So perhaps there is something to this lawsuit. It's going to be the first one against a big tech company, certainly since Microsoft in the 90s. No doubt will take years to resolve. If there's a change in administration, we'll have a new attorney general, so we'll have to get their views on it. I would note that the corrupt state attorney general of the great state of Texas, Ken Paxton, Me Too'd on and, or rather piled on to this lawsuit, claiming that Google had engaged in antitrust violations in Texas. This is the attorney general who's currently under indictment for securities fraud. Our next story, Berkshire Hathaway pays $4.14 million to settle Iranian sanctions violations claim. The company agreed to pay on behalf of Exxon Turkey, which sold 144 shipments of cutting tools and related inserts to 2 Turkish distributors, knowing they would be shipped to a distributor in Iran for resale. This was brought by OFAC, and certainly a black eye on Berkshire Hathaway. The settlement documents said that Exxon Turkey took steps to obfuscate its dealings with Iran and conceal them from Berkshire, despite warnings that the sales would violate company compliance policies. Berkshire voluntarily reported the apparent violations in May 2016 after receiving an anonymous tip. And finally, it looks like Goldman Sachs' long journey under 1MDB may be coming to an end. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.